It's February and it is not great outside. The trees are dead. The grass is dead. Our hope is dead. Seasonal affective disorder. But in all of this cold, gray, bleary darkness, did you know that there is a delicious, nutritious vegetable that's currently throwing itself out of the frozen ground? Okie dokie, it is very cold outside, so I'm gonna send it to yesterday me, when it was a lot warmer. If I was to show you this patch of earth, you'd probably think that there's nothing growing here of consequence. But that's just because you don't know what you're looking for. Meet Fukinoto, or the petiole of the giant butterbur. If you're asking yourself, now where have I heard of Fuki before? I'm gonna tell you, they're the big leaves in Totoro. And the reason why they're here in the States is because when Japanese immigrants came here, they wanted to bring a taste of home. Fuki refers to the entire plant, whereas Fukinoto is specifically these cold, hardy, brave little flower buds. There were hundreds of these little guys hiding in the leaf duff in this flower bed. They've kind of taken over. They can be invasive, like I said. Harvesting the Fukinoto will not affect the plant getting those big, beautiful leaves. Here's a broken down one right here, because these are just the reproductive bits. Ooh, look at this guy. He timed opening up perfectly with this fall we're having. I've got a lovely bunch of Fuki buds. Honestly, they smell like black pepper and new beginnings. It's time to play America's favorite game. Did I get a parking ticket? Because technically my parking thing has expired because I got too excited talking about plants with strangers. Not strangers, new friends. No ticket. Yeah. No ticket. No ticket. No ticket. Oh, someone saw me dancing. Oh no, a little stranger saw me dancing and now I'm hiding beside my car. Oh, my purse is over there. Oh. A dramatic reenactment of me driving to the grocery store after embarrassing myself. Going to the market to get stuff to make tempura. We got what we need. Let's get home. Hello, we're home. Welcome to my little foraging center. And here are our Fuki buds, which I have rinsing in some cool water. Now we're gonna be turning these into tasty tempura. To make things easy, I did just buy some pre-made tempura mix. So we're gonna go ahead and add 1 bag of the mix into this bowl. I love making things easy for myself. And then we're gonna add in icy cold water. I went just under the recommended amount because I really want my tempura to be crunchy. And then we're gonna stir them with these chopsticks because why mess with tradition? I feel like since it's my first time cooking these for myself, I've had them before, but I've never prepared them, I should probably just follow the rules. We're gonna go ahead and take our clean buds and we're going to open them up so they look a little bit like an open flower or a star or an alien. These guys are just so beautiful to me. And then we're gonna go ahead and take our bud and get it into that tempura batter and make sure that it gets covered like pretty comprehensively. I'm a little clumsy with chopsticks, as you can tell, but I think that went pretty well. So now that we have our Fuki bud covered in tempura batter, I have this pot going with some sunflower oil, and we're just gonna go ahead and plop this guy in. Okay, wow, that looks actually so cool. Another one. Oh my God. I'm so mad about the fact that these don't look as good on camera as they do in real life. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I made a little dip in sauce. I think this one is definitely the prettiest. Let's give it a dip in the dipping sauce and give it a try. Now, Fukinoto is often described as being delightfully bitter. That is honestly not surprising to me. A lot of cultures, including indigenous cultures here and even a lot of European cultures, have a history of a spring tonic where you eat some of the first greens that come up, and it's supposed to help fortify your body for the year ahead and get you all of those nutrients that you were missing during the winter when you were living off of what was already preserved. Some people chop up a bunch of the first greens and put them into alcohol or make a big salad with them. And this would be considered the equivalent of a spring tonic, but in Japan. So I'm really excited. It is delightfully bitter, but not bitter in a way that doesn't make me want to keep eating this. Honestly, that way that artichokes get kind of melt in your mouthy, that's what these do too, and I like it. But Alexis, what are you gonna do with the rest of them? We have another recipe, silly goose. Now, before we get to our second recipe, this video is brought to you by no one. I have worn a lot of selkie in this video though, so selkie, you wanna sponsor me? Or let me come to your Fashion Week show, please? Now for our second recipe, I'm gonna be doing a riff on the Fukinoto miso from this book by Nancy Singleton Hachisu, Japan, the Vegetarian Cookbook. Because I am a filthy vegan and most of the recipes in here are vegan too. But do what you want, I'm not your mom. Now here we have our remaining Fuki buds, and I've been told that these are really big for Fuki by some of my friends in Japan, and I don't know what to tell you except that in the Midwest, we be eating good. Let's go ahead and grab these guys, and we are gonna drop them into a pot of boiling salted water for just a minute. Now we're gonna go ahead and scoop them out and put them into some ice water to stop the cooking process. Now that these guys have cooled down, we're gonna squeeze out all of the excess water and chop them all up one by one. There we go. And I know what you might be thinking at this time. Alexis, yes, what if I don't wanna go foraging and I just wanna get this at the grocery store? Can I do that? And the answer, if you don't live in Japan, no, you cannot. I am so sorry. You have to go commune with the out of doors. You have to go develop a deep connection with your surroundings. And if you think, oh, well, there's no way it's in my area, I'm gonna put all the places it's been tagged on iNaturalist here-ish. Thank you, future me. So you never know. Anyways, back to cooking. Now we're coming back over to the burner for part 2. This right here is acorn flour that I made from bur oak acorns in my neighborhood, which is maybe the most Disney princess sentence I've ever said, but we're gonna need to toast it up. In Nancy's recipe, she uses toasted pine nut powder, but I have acorn. I have pine nuts too. I just don't feel like shelling them right now. So we are going to use acorn. Let's get this guy toasted. Once your acorn grounds are looking a little toastier and they're smelling a lot toastier, you're gonna go ahead and add in some sesame oil. Get that guy swished around. And then add in our chopped Fukinoto. Mine browned a little bit because I'm shooting a video, so I didn't get to put them in right away. If they oxidize, it's okay. It's just not as pretty. Now that things are getting toasty, I'm gonna add a splash of mirin to deglaze the pan. And then we are going to add in this mixture of miso, mirin, and brown sugar. In it plops. I'm really lucky that I have a solid Japanese market nearby, so it's pretty easy to get a hold of lots of different types of miso. This one has barley in it. But just use the best miso you can find in your area, boo-boo. Should I make a video about making your own miso? Would y'all watch that? Speaking of watching things, you are going to watch this and stir it until it gets nice and glossy and you don't see any granules of that brown sugar. I'd say that's looking pretty glossy. It really only took about a minute or so. Here is our finished dish. Traditionally, Fukinoto miso is served with plain rice, but I do have a little flourish of pureed pickled plum. Try saying that 10 times fast. Because I just wanted the plate to look pretty and I felt like it would complement the flavors. So let's give it a try. Okay, that's delicious. I think I prefer this over just the tempura. It's doing some beautiful funky things with the umami and the salt from the miso. Oh, and just that tiny little of sweetness just at the very top because of the brown sugar. Yes, yes, and yes again. I will be making this again. Let me know if you make it. Oh, it's so good it has me talking with food in my mouth. That's impolite. Thanks for hanging out and happy snacking. Don't die.